Hey, this is George,
Hey, this is Frank.
and this is Real Talk with George and Fraser. What's going on, brother?
Not much, brother. Another good show. What's going on?
Can't call it. Can't call it. Look like I caught you at the end of lunchtime, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit. No, get a little stuffed up.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Listen, man, we keep bringing them. We got a great show today. A great guest, Mrs. Dillon, is going to be with us shortly. We had a great banger last week with
Yep,
Chaos, and oh man, I can't even call it. Y'all got to go back and watch those shows, man. Y'all got to watch those shows.
most definitely, man. We got some this week too. It's gonna be like a triple hitter this week and next week, so we have a lot of good nuggets gonna be dropped in the last couple 2 weeks, man. It's gonna be
Oh yeah,
lovely.
oh yeah. Just a heads up, tomorrow we have True Taylor coming back. I realized last time she was on the show, it was more about politics. I mean, we just drifted into it. But yeah, part two is coming tomorrow, so
But
please.
actually, that's the next. That was Carmen Miller. This is True Taylor. This one I had issue with last time. Technical difficulties. Remember, we couldn't get. Yeah, technical difficulty get on. I was,
I
it was
understand that.
Friday. Yeah, it was
Technical
that Friday.
difficulties.
One that Friday, we ended up going crazy. Everybody going this way because the election going. They didn't know what to do.
Oh, okay. So I'm mixing up best. I apologize.
I got you. We got
No doubt.
this.
No doubt. So what's
See,
going on,
I'll
man?
get this way though. But man, have you seen the news that they trying to set up another exhibition fight? Tyson and Holyfield. Can you imagine that fight there?
No,
You can't imagine.
no,
That's a good fight, man.
no. I mean, look. I'm still traumatized by the last fight they had. After Mike Tyson bit off his ear, man, I was basically done. I realized that that was decades ago and everybody has changed.
Yeah,
But think about it. When fighters retire, they retire for a reason. They retire because they lost a step. They retired because they went out on their shield. They retired and you absorb all of that emotion. Like you're like, okay, he's gone. He's gone off into the
yeah,
sunset. I can rest. I can relax. On to the next fighter or the next up and comer. Nothing hurts my heart more than to see a lot of these guys who are past their prime, but getting in the ring either for the love of the sport, for money, to get back into the spotlight. And then their performances are so lackluster that you just sit there and you just are like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I paid for this. Oh wow, or he jumped in the ring and he looks like that. You know, I like to see fighters the way they were in their mind. Like if you were a beast and you were ripped and you were jacked and you were like, yeah, I'm walking away. That's how I want to remember you.
yeah,
Or if you got knocked out and you were like, okay, it's time for me to hang it up. I respect that. That's how I want to remember you. I don't want to see you here where you're 3 or 4 steps back and it just looks awful to watch. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just can't
yeah.
do it.
But Tyson's a little younger than he was when he fought. Maybe it's just me, but I think he's a way better fighter with mindset right now than you were fighting before. When he fought Holyfield, he was going through a lot of issues. So yeah, he had a lot of things going on besides just boxing. His personal life wasn't going so great and everything going. People doubting him, saying he wasn't really a true contender. And I mean, it's hard to say if a person went from up here, life messes you up, you go back down here and trying to build yourself back up with that credibility you had when you were fighting. You know?
Right.
So I mean now he's more humble. To me, I think he's a better fighter at his age now. Cause his mindset is right. He got a personal life somewhat together. And Holyfield look the same. If you see Holyfield, he don't look that bad. Holyfield look pretty good, man. Them boys kept good shape. They my idols. Age, man, come on, age, come on. I mean, have you seen
Right.
Holyfield lately?
No, I have not. I have
You
not.
gotta watch Holyfield, man. You gotta see him. Cause actually, Holyfield reached out to him at a thing on Instagram where Holyfield reached out and said, "Why not give me a shot too? I want to rematch. I want to get back in the ring." I think a lot of old fighters miss that. They miss that hype. The hype, man. It's the hype about fighting that fight night and get you all ready to go. You know, like, oh yeah, I'm going out. That theme music coming playing. You like it all. Ready to go to war look. You know that ready to go to war look, George. You know that look. You had it for
I know
time.
that look. I know that look. I know that look. I do, however, but I still know my limitations. Like for instance, I wouldn't compete right now without. See, I'm not that far gone, but I wouldn't compete that now without like saying, okay, my goal is to go back to the world championships. You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
that has left me a little bit. It's not my time anymore. It's time for the younger kids and the younger adults
Yeah.
to go and do that. I've done that, but then again, hey, if they cutting checks,
Exactly. Exactly. You like that? Quit that. Wait. Can I check? Hold
they
on.
cutting
I'm
check. Wait,
thinking
hold
about it.
on,
Hold on. You evaluate this a little bit.
hold on. Yeah, man.
How that check
Yeah.
look a little bit? How many zeros in that line? Is it 7 zeros or 6?
Yeah, man. I'll take it for a high. I'll take it for a high 5 zeros. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What was that guy? He was like, "Yo, I'll fight Mike Tyson for $1 million."
Hey, boom! It's that fight my turn. They said nothing about winning the fight. You remember that now?
Yeah, man. I'm right with you. I mean, please. You mean all I gotta do is last? All I
That's
gotta do
it.
is last for 3 minutes. I can dance for 3 minutes.
Exactly. Hey, we go around the ring almost there. We go there all day, every day. So you know how they go. I'm like, ooh, let's do this. Like me, I started boxing. So me and boxing, he mixed that with Muay Thai. Oh man, I was there all day long. I'm trapping all day long. They wrestle. So man, could you imagine what fun that would be?
No, I couldn't
You
because
know what?
even
It's
when
not fair, George. You supposed to agree with me a little bit, George. You supposed to agree with me a
no, not
little
at all, not at all. Because I'm smart. Even those punches when they're not touching you at full, they hurt. And depending on how you catch one of those punches, you could pop a rib, dislocate a rib. Those punches are short, small, and compact. And one thing I know, and you know as well, the last thing to leave you is power. That's the last thing to leave. So you get touched up by a couple of those, you may not recover because you're just not used to being hit like that.
Exactly. Okay, hold on 1 second. So every guest get in here right quick.
What are you
Yeah.
listening to?
Well, I'm trying to help her. She's having a hard time getting logging in.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
trying to help her at the same time to get her to log in. So that's what I'm doing now. Tell her you say you have a problem with the email. So tell her the link. So I'm trying to help her with the link right quick.
Oh, okay. What else is going on? Did you get a chance to watch the UFC's event?
Oh, there she go, part of the bottom. Yeah. Oh man. You should have fight the championship fight that happened with Sana versus Kavikovic. Man. You seen that brother power? Now that might be a greater test. They both undefeated. One like Sana he moves like he like put it he like a Sugar Ray, right? And you got the other guy almost feeling like a Mike Tyson. He just coming straight power. He trying to knock you out every chance he gets.
Right.
Trying to give that knockout punch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out how would that work because what strategy go into not trying to get hit? I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. Well, fans, she's with us after technical difficulties and getting on. We definitely want to invite her to the show. Dr. Dillon, how are you?
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I am technically challenged, so that's why I early this morning I was like, how do I get on this thing? Because I know I'm technically challenged. So I think what was that, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock this morning?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
okay, tell me how I got to get on.
Absolutely.
Woo, Jesus.
Yes. You're here. We definitely appreciate you being here. Thank you for taking the time through the technology to get to us. That being said, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background. Every time Frazier and I try to do it, it's not good. We mess it
Don't
up.
come out too good. Don't work too
It's
good
okay.
for us.
I was trying to turn the computer around. I was trying to get on this thing with my phone, right?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I got an iPhone, I got an Android. I was like, neither one of them would work. And then I was like, okay. And then so I was like, all right, I gotta go to the computer. He said email. I was trying to get those, I'm green, so I'm just trying to get there, trying to do what we need to do. Well, my name is I made it. My name is Dr. Metashar Dillon, and I'm just a servant, really. I'm a servant to humanity, a servant to our community, a servant to my people, a servant to women, a servant to families, a servant, and I champion children, without getting to the depths of everything. You can go to our website, www.kiedc.com. You can get more information there, but I'm not even here to talk about myself. I'm here to talk about the mission, which is meeting needs and solving problems for the benefit of all humanity. It's about, changing the narrative, for and the trajectory for a better future, for those that have to come. My mandate is, I have a commission and I have a mandate. And part of that is to correct what's wrong and to rewrite, meeting, he said every mountain and every hill will be brought low, every valley will be exalted. And so that we won't continue to have and go through and going through the same things over and over again. And it becomes a circle and going. But we begin to really do things that are legacy, that when we see something wrong, then we do something right.
Yeah.
That we don't just do something, but we start a movement, and we close and close the gap of the disparity in any area that's wrong. And we know economically, stuff is just wrong. We know the health disparity is just wrong for Black and brown people, and just for people that are in need. I tell everybody, I said, until we do Matthew 25 and 35 through 40, it's not until then that I would be satisfied. So I prophesy over my life and for long life. And then as I live, I train other people that they will carry the torch, and continue to do what needs to be done. So what we're championing right now is we're championing this free hospital for a free medical hospital, specialty hospital for children, that children can have access to top of the line medical care. And so we're right now in the midst of putting together, and that is already together, but to build one just for the hospital to raise $1.5 billion and another $1.5 billion to build the community. And do we have a geographical area that we are saying we're going to come to? We're saying whatever the Lord want to do, it's going to be in that place. And so we're open. We're building teams of skilled people that have the power in every area, whether it's technology, whatever it is, whether it's just raising money, whether it's just networking. But we have doctors that we're partnered with. That's some of the baddest doctors around the country, the baddest finance people that are around the country, our communication people, platforms like this. Thank you again for opening up this platform to Kingdom International Economic Development Corporation, which I founded it in 1988. And so it's a long-standing, and in the midst of even nutrition, that we're feeding our people good food and healthy food. And right now we're in the midst of, which we have already during this COVID-19, fed over 76,000 people, giving away boxes of food. And even when we don't have food from USDA, Farmers to Family, we build and we raise money to go buy our own food for our own community. So we're not waiting for people to give us, what we need. We're working hard, we're grinding, and we're doing what we need to do for people that are in need, because we are our brother's keeper. And we love ourselves, so we love our neighbors. So you can't love nobody if you don't love yourself. We want to see people advance. So again, thank you for inviting us on this platform. But we are presently on Indigo. We raised our initial marketing capital within less than 24 hours. We came in contact with our first $1 billion philanthropy investor. We launched at 7:30 that evening. And by 6 a.m. the next morning, we had somebody reaching out. So, and we need a whole lot of those, 1,000 times more, to come to the table for what we really want to do and what we really want to get done. We write programs. We have a whole lot of things that's already done. I am an author. I am a bestseller author. I've authored already 3 books, but I've written over 40, and they all have not been published. And I don't really have a lot of room to promote those types of things. But if you Google it, if you go to Amazon, you can find all 3 of the published books. But more books are going to come. But it's all about doing what we need to do, that what has not been done. Right. And we have a lot of partners, powerful security people, all types of different folks that we're going to need. We're going to be putting endowments together. We're going to set legacies, and we're going to put in place. We will no longer talk about it, but we'll be about it.
Absolutely. Nice. Absolutely. You said a lot there, and there's a lot to unpack in that, simply because of the passion and the ability. Our community needs that. For some strange reason, our community always, I don't want to say we're at the bottom, but we're always placed at the bottom. We're placed at the bottom when it comes to funding. We're placed at the bottom when it comes to financing. We're placed at the bottom when it comes to food and nutrition. Interesting enough, I said it on the show before, a foreigner can come into our community and put up a store and serve us, what's that? What Chappelle call it? Fruit drink or something like that. Yeah, something that's just completely non-nutritional, for us. And we sit there and we buy these in these bodegas and these store shop communities without understanding about proper nutrition. And during the phases of growth, that's when you need proper nutrition, and things of that nature. So I'm saying all that to say that you're raising money. Have you gotten to some goals? I know you mentioned $1.5 billion for the Children's Hospital. I have 2 questions, with that. Have you really set on a location? Like, are you going to refurbish a hospital that has gone down? Are you going to build from scratch?
Okay, go ahead. Finish your question.
Well, no, that. I'll do the second question after I get this answer. Right.
Okay, so one, let me just tell you about the geographical locations that we have our eye on. And we have pinpoint some land in New York. But I tell everybody, by the time the money get here, who knows? The land might be gone. So we're not locked into New York. But we do want a geographical area that will be able to facilitate, because the model and the research, and we've done this research and put this package together over 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. So we've been following the trends. So we know exactly we need to be in a high populated area for it. So those areas that we're targeting are New York is number one. And then we have California, and then we have Georgia, and then we have Florida. And we've done our strategy and investigation. And so it could be in any one of those areas. And some of the people that are at the table, we said, who knows? We may start in one area, and who knows? We do have a program where if we have a headquarters, we are going to be visible everywhere around the nation. And it doesn't have to be a physical duplication, but we already have a plan in place in terms of what's going to actually happen and how we're going to get it around the world and get it around the country. So we have the business plan already set in motion, but it could be in one of those geographical information, in a location where there's land available, where there is land available, because we're going to need about 2,000 to 5,000 acres. And so we have different, stakeholders at the table and that want to participate. And whoever moved first, one could say, well, we want it to be in Georgia, and then here's the money. One could say, we want you to come to California, here's the money. So it's not like we're for sale. It's just that we can eventually duplicate it in all of those areas after we lay the foundation, the bottom line foundation.
Okay. So second question, you answered it in your first question, but I want to expand upon what you just said. 2,000 to 5,000 acres. What are you getting in that facility? Are you getting a campus? 2,000 to 5,000 acres is a lot. So is it just a hospital? Is it housing? Is it business complex? Is it supermarkets? What are you looking at for that amount?
Good question. Go ahead. You did your homework, Mr. George. So yes, it's more than a hospital. You got it. You hit it right on the nose. It's more than a hospital. We will have facilities that will facilitate the families that are in need, that they can have somewhere to stay for the long term, for their whole entire family to have somewhere to stay for their long term stay. And we're also going to add tiny houses, so for short term stay. So we have the whole blueprint laid out. That is not just housing community, but it'll be research for doctors. So it'll be training communities. So it'll be condos. It'll be for staffing. So we'll be able to really take care of our doctors that are coming to volunteer their time, right? And our staff. But also it's going to be a community that fuels itself. For instance, we would have a business commercial property where a part of a partial will be cut off, where like if a Target or a big chain will come in, they will lease their land from us, and that'll fuel and that'll help pay for it. But also we're going to have a global center that when families come over, that the families' lives can kind of stay intact. We'll have a global center, a business center, a library. So it's going to be a village. It's going to be building a whole community that everything that is needed is going to be put in that one community. And that's why that land, the quality of the different positions in the land, and the different things that are needed. So it's like going into an area and building a entire community. And then it needs to be by our international airport, because we will have the heliports, the whole everything that it's going to take to get sick people where they need to be. And our focus is on the children. From the beginning of it, and then just for the transparency of it, I already have people in other countries that want to duplicate and really want to buy our plan for other countries, because it's locked solid, and people are just waiting in line. But what we're saying is not for sale. We need it. It's a lot of people, the people of diversity that are our allies, along with a lot of people of color. This is a legacy piece. And this is something that, as long as the earth remains, it's going to remain. So the demographics of it, it's so awesome that we even have other specialty hospitals saying, whatever you need, we'll consult. This is an awesome idea. And the link that we have a part to it. So I would love for you guys to just be a mouthpiece, just saying, hey, we're getting ready to do something, and we're going to go to ground zero, and we're going to build it up. But it's going to be something that, one, it's going to have, we're going to have jobs that's going to come, but in so many different capacities. But part of that is going to be growing our own natural and organic vegetables, so we can make sure. So it's going to be parceled into so many. So the business plan is so powerful and it's loaded. And when people look at it, the only thing they can say is this came from the Lord.
Right. Absolutely.
Because he did it.
Right. Absolutely. No doubt about it.
No, but I would say too, I like that plan. I like the plan. Now I say too, it's like an urban development plan. And instead of using it as a business plan, you should picture it as an urban development rehabilitation plan. In the same way you're doing that, you can tell people, look, this is what it's going to create. This is the purpose we're doing it. And a lot of governments in certain states we can name will give you grants to order fund that program because, one, you clear out the war zone areas, but it also improves the property value of most of the property. Two, you create another economy, which also can help and build in flow into their economy already established. And then the second thing you're looking at too, how you're doing it is where it can be great for all if done properly to right. And my question too, now how do you be able to oversee that without being corrupted by other people, other agendas, other priority coming in, trying to take your same plan and redevelop something else?
Right. Well, one of it is not for sale, and you better believe it. People already been trying to ask, can they buy the plan and just give us money, and then we walk away. Well, it's not my plan for sale. So it's God's plan. So it's for his children and it's for his people. So it's not for sale. So if it was for sale, we could have already walked away with $50 million before this COVID even started, because the meeting was just that long ago. The plan has been written for over 20 years, and it was a set time for us to execute it. And right at that moment we executed it is when the COVID set in. So this is not for me and my four and no more. This is for people that can't help themselves. This is for children and for families, because have one medical problem, and that one medical problem will take out and wipe out your whole life. So at the end of the day, we're rooted and we're grounded, and our anchor holds. We're not for sale. Everybody already know that. We've been tried and tested. We are a non-for-profit that been in existence since 1988. We have to fight for that, because what we have, you can't even get anymore. They don't give out 046 numbers anymore. We have a 046 number. That's how long we've been in existence. So that's how long we've been leaping over walls and leaping over troops and making sure we educate our kids and sending our kids to college. And they're now lawyers and doctors and judges and teachers and families. We are for reals. We take children out of the system so they will not be in a system that have a mother and a father. We champion. We before babies are born, we make sure we go find some families because they're unwanted. We do what the word of God said do. So at the end of the day, you ain't got to worry about that. I got some powerhouses on our team. And I went and got the very young people that I mentored when they were in college. So they're the lawyers. They're the doctors. They're the judges. They know they got the heartbeat of it and they love it. You got to look at that link, that indigo link. And those are the people that have a mouthpiece. And without saying all that, I'm raising up my 11-year-old son, who's the ambassador, who's doing this, who's been feeding people since he could walk. So it's in his blood. It's in his, you shouldn't be satisfied until everybody's taken care of. Yes, the Bible said the poor are going to be with us always. Listen, we got some of the baddest. I'm a certified grant writing specialist. So I know how to go after and go get all those all of those situations. I know how to go get it. And so many things are just falling in our lap. And the only thing I can say to people is, even during the pandemic, it's been the greatest time for our organization and to bring in the wealth to really help the community that we're in. And so now what I'm doing is I'm getting ready to train over 5,000 Black farmers to know not only do you plant it, but I'm gonna train you on how you can distribute it in your community. So we want to do what's not been done and to bring balance in the earth and to be distributors. I don't care what 12 kingdoms you belong to. If you have not been a distributor, that is the problem. And those are the problems we want to solve. That's where we're at right now.
So to follow up on what Fraser was saying, he always likes to say war zones, and I don't like to use that language because that was a language. I understand, Fraser, but I have to finish my thought. Okay. They use
finish your thought, George. Finish that thought.
That's right. They use war zones for us. Fraser and I both are in real estate, and we've been in real estate for years. And they use war zones for us in urban cities, Chicago, Philadelphia, Newark, New Jersey, Brooklyn, Bronx. Okay. But trailer home facilities, they call them trailer homes, trailer parks. You see what I mean? For our counterparts, those facilities don't have that much equity or anything else less than the urban communities, but they use the term war zone for us and homes for them. So I've always had an adverse reaction when they say that because it just rubs me the wrong way as they put that term on us. And a lot of times we say it in acceptance. I know Fraser wasn't saying it like that, but for this particular show, I always like to make that correction that we understand the difference, and we're not party to that term when it comes to that as well. But that being said, my second question was, I know people want to buy it, but did you ever think about partnering with other foreign governments overseas? Because I know a couple of entertainers have gone overseas, like Akon has gone and built a village in Africa and built an entire city. And these would be considered government developmental projects once you pitch them to them, because they have the land, you're doing the growth, you're doing the technology piece, you're doing the building, you're doing the hospital, you're doing everything that these government needs. And sometimes a lot of governments, what they will do is once they get the approval for it being a government-backed project, they also can, in your negotiation, guarantee the funds that you need. So now that you have a proof of concept, you can now bring it back and say, no, this is what we're doing in Africa. This is what we're doing in Southern Asia. You see what I mean? And then bring it back. Was that a thought process?
Oh, well, it's something that's already in motion.
Nice.
In 2014, it was about 2014, we went over to Dubai and to direct investment conference, a direct investment conference. And we put our project on the platform, and out of 15,000 programs was on the platform, we were number one.
Nice.
So we did that, and a delegation of doctors and financial people. We went over and we met with that governments from different countries. Mm-hmm. Out of that has been birthed the first hospital outside of the country will be in Africa, and in a part of Africa where they're actually giving birth to babies outside in the open air. Wow. And so it's a doctor that's been she reached out and she was like, I need help. And so we really need money for that project, because we already have partnership. We already have letters in place. And that's going to be not only for children, but it's also going to be for women and for families. So we have a similar plan already done for Africa. Our focus was, getting America's done first while we put all the other legalities in place for Africa. So we have a planned trip already set this year to go into Dubai again. And so I've been brought into Dubai by His Royal Highness, a round trip, fully paid, first class ticket, and I was one of the guests of 50 people that he invited in. That's going to change the world, and I was one of those. And so I've gone for over 11 times now, and so I have strong relationship, and so our first launch for our first level of phase, a small phase of fundraiser. We did that. We were successful on that, and now we into the second phase of getting our philanthropy donor to go ahead, and we getting everything done so we can put stuff in motion. So as we exit to go across the waters, we have already concluded one, but we already have the plan written, documents already signed with partners, and we're planning on stamp copying that across all of Africa. And so we found funding over the other in the other part of the world that will actually stamp copy that in all of Africa. So, but that's for Africa. So we just wanted to focus here because it works better when you already have a model and you're a U.S. company and you've done what you're going to do all over the world. So it is open and it is planned to be stamp copied, because no matter what anybody say, no matter what anybody has done, listen to this. We have the #1 medical, platform that people already from other countries come here and pay to get their surgeries done. Mm-hmm. So it is proven. It's not a thought. Mm-hmm. It's already in motion. It's been happening for years that governments send their people over here to get the specialty surgeries and people that are really, really sick. And they send medical plane that's already facilitated like a hospital in the air to bring people right here. And it's a lot of sick children and the need is great. So that's our first focus. So it is a lot of layers in the midst of that, but we want to start with the children. And the children actually help the families. Right. So it's still the children, the families are impacted by the children, but because the children don't have a voice, we are focusing on the children here in the U.S. first. But the plan is larger when we go across the water for women and children and families that are in need. And it's the same plan, building the villages, building a whole blueprint. So it is a blueprint for the community.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask what country in Africa?
Nigeria.
Nigeria? Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay, nice. So that's part of ECOWAS because I have roots in Liberia, West Africa. So
well, listen, I invite you, brothers. It's a lot of, we have some brothers, but it's a lot of women, high level professionals, the expertise, the best of the best in this world that's a part of our team. And so every time I meet people, I look at it as divine connection and say, hey, you have an open invitation by me because I know your heart, I know your spirit, and to come part and be a part of that. So when we have our board of councils coming together, you can voice and you have a voice to be able to say. So, you can inbox me your CVs and inbox me your pictures. I'll get you a link and let you see who we have on board. The only thing everybody walk away with, your mouth is on the floor. Drop the mic because people are saying, and people are like, no, this is what I want to do. This is a legacy. And our theme is we're stronger together.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's always
we're stronger together.
Always. You build better. And I tell people that it's funny you said about kids because I tell people most countries utilize kids' voices in many different ways. I mean, kids' minds are so pure in youth until it's untapped. They're uncontaminated. They don't know what evil is. They don't know what racism is, all that stuff. And they're so pure and and their mind of creativity even more pure. And you want to say this, I like the way I want you first. Nobody said I love Wakanda. I want to the Wakanda theory, where I basically said you take a place and you fuelize to with technology, you build it, you allow it to be, you make a platform for everybody to come and say, "Wow, they just made that, they just did that." Whoa, and that's why I see this coming through it now. If kids to me are the most creative, innovative minds that you ever have in your mind, and nobody ever listen to them. And I know that by little kids.
Frazier is about to change because you said it, and you point on. They're pure, they're not tainted, and anytime you have a kid that rise up and talk and call other kids niggers or call, vice versa, or any Asian persuasion, or anything that's out of context, because if that context is wrong, everything else is just going to be wrong. But children are pure, and so my little boy, he doesn't know anything else but to extend his hand, and I teach him you're not giving a handout, baby. You give it a hand up.
That's right.
Okay, and all you're doing is preparing for your future. That if you ever, God forbid, get down because you paid it forward, because I'm teaching you to do this, there will be people that you don't even know that will lift you up because you're pure. I always say, for them that have clean hands, a pure heart, and the right spirit, those are the people that we're inviting to the table, but we're raising up the young people to do it. And I have to say this. My little boy, he's 11 now, but when he turned 7, he came to me and he said, "Mommy, I keep having dreams and vision. I see myself in movies and I see myself on TV. How do I get there?" And I was like, "Oh, you ready?" So I always knew he was a musical genius because I started him in piano since he was 2. He writes. And so he wanted to get into acting. And so I knew that was part of his destiny. My grandmother prophesied and said the whole world going to know him, And because I knew he could sing since a baby, I just made sure I knew his doctor said when he was 6 months, he would be a genius. So put him in piano. So the doctor told me that, his pediatrician, who stood pediatrician. Yeah. And she said, I know it costs a lot to get him tested, and it makes no sense to spending that money. So just go ahead and get him in piano. Make sure he's in an environment that's conducive for his learning, because even though he's 6, he's really 2. Right. He's a genius, and I see not only what Einstein have, but greater than Einstein, because he has the intelligence, but he also has the creative side. Right. So put him in that, and the brain waves are gonna help. And so, at 9 months, he was reading. And so, but when he said he wanted to, he recognized his destiny and he wanted to get into acting. So believe it or not, like a week later, I got a phone call for him to go on this platform. And so by the time he turned in 2028, he went to a platform in July 4th in Las Vegas. In August of the same month, he was going to his first audition. He booked his first audition. And then from that, it's been, what I say, massive, where he has literally, he's starring in the number one show that's getting ready to be launched May 14th, which is called The Underground Railroad. And he's one of the main stars in that. And that platform gave him a voice. So it gave him a voice to shine a light, in places that's been dark. But he is a very powerful little boy, and he's pure. So nobody is guarding him or governing him on what to say. God is really speaking through him. So you said something that was very powerful. So if you can follow him on Instagram, Chase W. Dillon, he is one of the key leads on the Underground Railroad that was produced by Mr. Barry Jenkins and directed by Barry Jenkins and produced by, some powerful people that's in the industry. And when they saw his gift, they recognize his gift. So it's going to be very powerful. I'm not here to talk about that because I'm not allowed to promote that, on my platform, but I wanted to promote my son, Chase W. Dillon, that's starring in that. And this coming out May 14th. And if you guys could help me share the word, you're about to see something that's going to be very powerful.
He can come on the show. We can bring him on the show. He be the first little kid we ever had on the show, right, George?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, one thing. Well, I'll go and get some permission from the publicity people to see if he can come.
Okay.
But he is it's going to be so powerful. But make sure you go follow like Amazon Prime because it's going to be on Amazon Prime. It's going to be and then go follow Underground Railroad on Instagram and then follow Chase W. Dillon. And then you're gonna see the trailers are already out. You can go to IMBD, you can see it. But those are the types of things. And he is the voice for the hospital as a child. The Bible says, out of the mouth of babes and suckling, let every word be established, because it's pure, because it's right. And I believe that the young people, the movement is that the young people are going to make the change.
Right.
They're going to make the change. And he talks about entrepreneurs. He talked about stirring other children up so they can change the trajectory of their lives, no matter where you came from. It doesn't matter how you got here, but God allowed you to get here. So you're important to God. So just changing all of that and hitting them before they get to a certain age so that they can see a light before they get there. So he is a voice to be reckoned with.
Nice. Absolutely. Well, go ahead and set that up with the publicist and see if it's possible for us to have him on the show. And then we would definitely love to have him.
Well,
definitely. Absolutely. Will we be able to share this link right here?
Yes, you will. Well, definitely. Okay.
Because what I'll do is I'll share the link, and I will share the link with them and with his manager. But we talking about a little kid that's leading that. He's recruited his agent, his managers to be a part of, helping the community. So they are a part of it. They send resources. He makes sure kids have coats and hats and gloves and toys and food. He goes to the grocery store and shop for them himself. For his birthday, he was like, for my birthday, you could give me a gift so I could go shopping for kids.
Right.
Exactly.
So he's a part of that, and his platform is that he's going to help bring the balance in the world. And what's so powerful? In 2015, we did a nationwide tour for women in entrepreneurship, and to get ready for this technology movement. That was 2015.
Yeah.
So we saw the whole world turning technology. And I had to do something that I'm not that great at. I had to go and say, this needs to be advanced, because I've been to China. I've been to India. I've been to these different countries, as a guest speaker at the government. And so I knew we were so far behind technology wise, that I wanted to close the gap, but nobody wasn't ready for making sure that we were advanced in 2015 technology wise. And so when this came, even when the famine came, we've been doing what we're doing since 1988. So we didn't know COVID was coming, but we knew something was coming to shut down the world. The Lord give it to you in pieces. We've been preparing. And the Lord told us to prepare, because when it comes, people gonna be hungry, people gonna be homeless. You said you're in real estate. Are we ready to put people in places? Do we have enough facilities to put people in places? Because some of these jobs are never coming back.
That's right.
Are we gonna open stuff up? Because families are gonna be left homeless on the street. I go to different cities, and I cry because of, the government don't know how to solve that problem. And so you're absolutely right. We went to Houston when they had the flood. We took 6 tractor trailers into Houston so we can help people that were in need, So we've been seeing it build up, build up, build up. So my message is your 4 is no longer just for your 4 and no more. And at the end of the day, the crime will increase if we don't really do what we need to do and hold our government. My government know me, from the governor to the congressional people. When I need them, I can pick up the phone. I have them on phone dial. When they do something that's not right, I call it out. I you got to change that law because that's not right. You can no longer, you don't understand that sometimes. I understand that you have people that are around you, and the people that are around you don't have the right motives concerning people across the board. And so when you make that decision, you will be like a pharaoh with your foot continue to be on black and brown people's neck. And that day is over. So don't do that, because if you do that, as a woman of God who I am, you won't be back in your seat. So I speak truth to power.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
You can see the written articles that I've spoken out. When I see something that was going to affect us, because we took our own bootstraps and built ourselves up. So you didn't get money. We couldn't get loans to start our businesses. We had to start our own businesses by sacrifice. And when we began to get collateral, then you give us a loan and make money off of us. From our collateral, you making money off of us when you never really gave us nothing. So we need our own everything. We need our own platforms to access to private capital. We have to teach that. I'm going to come back and teach people about building your community digitally first, gathering people behind, writing a vision, make it plain. A lot of times people talk, but they don't have the written vision. The written vision is the business plan. And that's how we get stuff done. That's how we get stuff done. And having everything in place, the technical, the tactical, having these things in place so we can do what we need to do. And that we change the narrative. Even though you didn't take care of us, our mission is we have to take care of innocent people, no matter who they are. See, that's who we are. We came over to this country not by permission. You understand? We came by this country because they had changed, they had stuff on us. But because when we came here and our ancestors came here, our descendants came here, they came because they had God in them. And so we are a people that brought God here. Hello, somebody. We brought God here. We brought the Lord here. We brought the power here. The power came, it's on the inside of us. And so every man on this earth was born with a spark of divinity. But because the Lord loves us so much, he gives us choices. And so some people choose and some people don't. So whosoever will, let them come. But we're going to do what is best. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you don't have the power of God, you can have all that money, and all that money still cannot cure the miracle that you need.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's
and
right.
that's what it's about. So you can have things, but if you don't have what you really need, all that money still won't cure. And because we're doing a kingdom work, we know signs, miracles, and wonders going to follow these things. So we just ask for support to follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, Kingdom International, which Economic Development Corporation, which stands for KIEDC. And let me tell you this, I've met with royal families. I've met with folks, okay, that I will hold them to the vow that they made. And they said, because what you are doing, we will fund it. So I am going to hold people to the vow.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Wow.
Well, listen, We want to thank you. That hour went by really fast.
Yeah.
Damn it, it's an hour already?
Yes,
I know,
ma'am.
right?
But we
Wow.
definitely want to thank you for coming on the show and sharing that vision. And as always, if you need any help, like I said, I have international trade marketing consulting company that I work primarily in West Africa because I'm from Liberia. So Liberia, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria, all the ECOWAS countries I have access to. So if any help that you need, just let us know. We'll definitely be here to help.
You're part of the family now, so don't be saying if I need it, I'm telling you I do.
All
so
right.
now I'm holding you to the rug, baby.
That's right.
So you're gonna be a part of it. So
Absolutely.
we need to talk. We need to talk offline on the phone. But you already have my email address, so I'm gonna tell you now. Go ahead and send me your CV and your picture, and let's so I can share the plan with you so you can see it. But we need all of those. We need all of those folks that you're talking about in all of those countries.
Anything you need, any access, just let me know. I will send that stuff to you via email, and then we can continue the conversation because kids are close to my heart. I know that kids in our part of the world and in our country are the lowest of the low, but the kids are the future. Kids are definitely the future.
Always. They're the rejuvenation of this country. However people may say it, the generation coming up now is the generation that we need to tap into, invest in, because they're going to change what we see now going so wrong. If we don't do that, it can go either way. And he always said another thing, and history repeats itself over and over again.
That's right.
We got a chance right now to
people
stop.
perish for lack of knowledge. That's absolutely right.
And that's in Ecclesiastes. That's in the Word of God. In Ecclesiastes, it talks about how history repeats itself. So listen to this. Mark this down. That little boy, he gonna go to the nations. He gonna speak, and people are gonna listen. Right. And he's gonna lead a generation. He's gonna lead a generation. And listen, he not only act, that baby can sing, baby. You got to hear the pipes that's on his voice. So when he open up his mouth, you're gonna know. And he's doing stuff for a cause. So remember, as we close, our motto is meeting needs and solving problems for the benefit of all humanity. And we're stronger together. We're stronger together. Remember, go to www.kiedc.com. That stands for Kingdom International Economic Development Corporation. You can go to Indigo right now. Give a donation. No donation is small enough because everything helps. And listen, we got some perks out there. People that are interested. You want to listen? We're gonna have a wall for people that donate and their pictures. You'll see all the different perks that's out there. So go to Indigo. I'll send you guys the link on Facebook and share it with your community. You never know who lap is gonna. It's called the power of networking.
That's right.
The power of networking. It's in most of my books. I talk about the power of networking because I've been all over the world and I've networked with so many folks that literally, it's not like I live in a mansion because I don't. Okay, but I have had royal people from the royal blood come right to my little house, right where I'm at.
Right.
They wanted to see and make sure because people want to see the being authentic.
Right.
So they want to see you in your environment. You understand? Because it's been too much taking, and it's not enough distributing. You understand?
Right.
So we have to change that narrative. So I hope that hears to the listeners that if we are on this side of 2021, we are to change what's been done before, not do away with the old, but merge it, let it come together, so we can have a dunamis, a exousias, a kratos, a Simeon power that would explode like never before. So reach out to us, follow us. Thank you so much. Thank you, because I think I connected with you guys because we were in a $1 billion room or something. Yeah. And you inboxed me, right? To say I want to interview you. So when I got on there, I was like, we are here to make a petition on behalf of the children.
Right. Absolutely.
But
But
definitely,
so thank you so much for being on the show. And like I said, we will definitely follow up. Check your email and we'll send that off to you.
Okay,
definitely.
thank you so much, George and Frazier.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much. I like Real Talk with George and Frazier, episode 61.
That's
Follow
right.
us.
We appreciate
Hallelujah.
you.
Have a blessed day. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great
Man.
interview. I told y'all we was going to have a banger. Y'all didn't believe me.
I told you. We always have them, man.
Always
that was a powerful
have
banger back to back, man.
Oh,
That
yeah.
touched it, man.
So, listen, check out tomorrow's show. Okay. We got True Tyler on the show tomorrow.
But
And
definitely.
we definitely going to keep it going. Hey, this is George.
Hey, this is Frags.
And that was Real Talk with George and Frazier. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 o'clock.
It's tomorrow. 7 o'clock.
Peace.